UFC Fight Night Barboza versus Chikadze, full card prediction, 11 fights on the entire fight card. Edson Barboza and Giga Chikadze is the main event, absolute banger. I'm hoping, and I think that's what's going to happen, is it's going to be an absolute war. We're going to see so much volume, so much pressure from both fighters, and we're going to see a lot of blood. We're going to see a lot of people getting wobbled, really technical striking as well. I mean, the main event's an absolute banger. We also have the tournament championship for the Ultimate Fighter in the middleweight and bantamweight division. Ricky Tercios, Brady Highstand, and then Brian Battle and Gilbert Urbina instead of Tresean Gore. Unfortunately, suffered a knee injury a couple of days ago, so now we have Gilbert Urbina coming in on short notice. We got Gerald Mersher, Mahmoud Muradov. Banger of a fight right there. D-Rod and Kevin Lee on the main card. The prelims with Paz Sabatini, Jamal Emmers, Justin Jacoby, Darren Stewart, Sam Al. I can go on and on. This fight card is an absolute banger. Not to mention we got Andrei Petrosky getting his first fight in the UFC. But man, it's a good fight card. I mean, I originally, when I first saw the fight card, there was 7 fights total because of all these cancellations. But now we got Mana Martinez on here, Abdul on here, and then we got the Ultimate Fighter as well. I am very, very excited for this fight card. But yeah, full card prediction is what we are about to do, and we're gonna look at the first fight right here in the bantamweight division. Mana Martinez and Gioti Gennady in the bantamweight division, guys. I feel so bad for Gioti Gennady, man. He cannot catch a break. 8 wins and 5 losses for Gioti Gennady. 8 wins and 5 losses. I just said that. But coming off a first round left hook knockout on Dana Botangero, a second round submission loss on Marlon Vera, another submission loss on Kyung Oh Kong, another submission loss on Henry Briones, a knockout loss on Alejandro Perez, and then 1 loss down here. Pretty much every single loss except for 1 being a finish in the first or second round. He's got good wrestling. He's got very solid wrestling and grappling. If we look at his career so far in the UFC, if I can find it, I don't really see it on here. But I believe he averages 2 or 3 takedowns per fight so far inside the UFC, which is pretty solid. But fighting a guy like Mana Martinez, it's going to be very hard to land that takedown, because if you're going to be having to land the takedown, he is going to be a lot taller and a lot lengthier. That's going to have to force you to come to the inside of the range and go down for the takedown. Mana Martinez has a deadly uppercut and a deadly left hook that Gioti Gennady just got caught from Dana Botangero right there. So I feel it's going to be very hard for a guy like Gioti Gennady, who has very good wrestling and grappling, to be able to close the distance and land the takedowns on Mana Martinez, just because of that height right there. I mean, 4 inches in height and then 2 inches in reach is already one thing, plus the power of Mana Martinez with 8 wins and 2 losses. I mean, it's going to be so hard to land the takedowns, and that is the reason I do think the fight is going to stay on the feet, is just because of that height and the reach. Gioti is going to have to come to the inside of range, and he is 41 years old. He doesn't have the best chin, but knocked out a couple of times in his career so far, and I do think Mana Martinez is going to catch him with another left hook. Gioti Gennady is going to come to the inside, look for the takedown, look to wrestle, look to grapple, look for the clinch, and I do think, like Mana Martinez did last time with Jose Johnson, and as he did against David Rivera, as he's done many, many times, he's going to stand back, pull out that left hook, maybe the straight right as well, and I do think we're going to see a knockout right here. I feel very bad for Gioti Gennady. I mean, the man cannot catch a break, man. He's 41 years old, and he's fighting these new up-and-coming fighters in this bantamweight division, and personally, I think he's going to get knocked out once again. So my prediction right here is going to be a Mana Martinez by knockout in the first or second round. I just don't see Gioti Gennady getting the takedown, and I don't see that chin holding up to that power of Mana Martinez with every single win being a finish in the first or second round. So my prediction right there is going to be a Mana Martinez first or second round knockout. Really good fight in the bantamweight division. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan and Antonio Bragonedo in the middleweight division. KO, TKO from Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, or a submission from Antonio Bragonedo. Those are pretty much the main outcomes for the fight, because Abdul, of course, every single win out of his 10 professional MMA wins are all first round knockouts. Absolutely insane. Got a split decision loss on Omari Akhmedov, then 3 more first round knockout wins in a row. How does he keep on doing it? So many first round knockouts, and then he went on that down streak, getting knocked out by KS Williams, getting dominated by Munir Lazez on the feet, and then getting out wrestled and out grappled by Jacob Malkoun, which is the one thing that kind of discourages me from picking Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, is that last fight with Jacob Malkoun. The wrestling and the grappling didn't look too good, man. They're both very, very old in their careers right now, not really with the most experience. Antonio's going to be 33 and a half, and Abdul is going to be 36 years old, which is very surprising. If you look at him, he doesn't really look like he's 36 or 37. He looks very, very young, but Antonio's going to have the height advantage, the reach advantage, doesn't really matter. He needs to get the fight down, use the wrestling, use that amazing grappling that he got a submission on Anthony Smith with a first-round knee bar. He needs to use that grappling and wrestling to get the fight down, but right here, I can't feel confident either way. This is one of the fights where, me as a predictor, it's hard to feel confident in my prediction. Like right now, I'm gonna give you my prediction, but am I gonna feel very confident in that? No, because Abdul Razak Hassan's takedown defense is nothing to really be excited for. Antonio Braga Neto's chin, as we saw in the last fight with Trevin Giles, and his cardio again is nothing to really be excited for as well. So it's very hard to pick of two guys that have very big weaknesses in their game, Antonio in the striking and Abdul in the wrestling grappling. But I think Abdul, he knows if he loses the fight, he's going to get cut from the UFC. This is his last chance to make another run in the UFC, get a couple more knockouts, and then maybe retire. But he needs to go out there getting another first-round knockout. And I'm gonna say he's gonna get a knockout. I think Abdul Razak Hassan is gonna be on the front foot, moving forward, pressuring Antonio Braga Neto, just as Trevin Giles did 3.5 years ago. Back him up to the back of the cage, and I think he's gonna get a right hand right down the middle and knock out Antonio Braga Neto in the very first round, just as he's done 10 other times. But again, you can't really feel comfortable in picking and confident in picking Abdul with the wrestling grappling he showed last time. But I think he'll put Antonio Braga Neto away early and get that knockout in the first. But again, I won't be surprised if Antonio Braga Neto gets a submission or gets a grappling and a wrestling decision. But my prediction is Abdul Razak Hassan winning that fight by a decision. Really good fight in the middleweight division. Sam Alvey and Wellington Turman in the middleweight division. Sam Alvey, he has not looked the same in his last couple of fights. He is 35 years old. He's going to have the 2-inch height advantage. He's going to have the 3.5-inch reach advantage. But again, he is 35 years old, and his chin is okay, but still, he's just not doing good. Recently, losing to Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, Jimmy Crute by knockout, getting submitted by Julian Marquez, getting really rocked in that fight as well. But we look way down here. 20 knockout wins, only 3 submission wins, and 11 decisions. And then he's only been knocked out 3 times. All 3 of those knockouts have been recently, so I don't know if that chin is kind of starting to wear off a little bit. But I don't know. It's an interesting fight. I do think Sam Alvey needs this fight to stay on the feet, use his height, use his reach, stay back, land the left hook, land the right hook, and get the knockout on a guy like Wellington Turman, who just does not have the best chin. We've watched the last 2 fights from Wellington Turman. The chin is nothing to brag about. He got knocked out by Andrew Sanchez from a right cross, 2 ground and pound, and he was out cold, man. That right hand took him out cold, and Andrew Sanchez is not a striker. He's a wrestler, and he ended up knocking out Wellington Turman. And then we got Bruno Silva knocking him out with ground and pound as well. So the chin of Wellington Turman does worry me because Sam Alvey does have 20 knockouts on his career, so I can definitely see a path of Sam Alvey going out there, keeping the fight at range, and just coming in with a big left hook and right hook, maybe an overhand, and knocking out Wellington Turman, a guy, again, does not have the best chin, but we do know Sam Alvey has some really solid takedown defense as well, which makes it another interesting fight in the middleweight division because Wellington Turman has very solid wrestling, very solid grappling. Most of his wins, if we look down here, 7 submission wins, 4 knockout wins, mainly by ground and pound TKO, and then all of the decisions are grappling and wrestling decisions. So it's an interesting one because Sam Alvey, if we look at his takedown defense so far inside the UFC, it's been pretty decent, 54% so far in his last couple of fights. Didn't get taken down by Dawoon Jung. Got taken down twice by Ryan Spann, but wasn't really controlled down there. So his takedown defense recently in the UFC has honestly been pretty decent, to be honest. But for this fight with Wellington Turman, it's a close one. It is definitely a 50-50 one with the chin of Wellington Turman, with the power of Sam Alvey, with the wrestling of Wellington Turman, and with the takedown defense of Sam Alvey. So I definitely view this fight as a 50-50. either Sam Alvey goes out there and just knocks out the guy with the horrible chin of Wellington Turman, or Wellington just comes out with the big combinations, clinches up, and just goes for takedown after takedown after takedown. But it's a close fight. The newer guy in the middleweight division who needs a win or is going to get cut from the promotion, or Sam Alvey, who's an older guy in the promotion who, if he loses, is going to get cut from the promotion. So whoever loses this fight is probably going to get cut, but I do think that person is going to be Sam Alvey. He just has not looked too good in his last couple of fights. I think Wellington Turman is going to come forward with a combination, clinch up, wrestle, and grapple, and win the fight by a decision. I don't see Wellington Turman getting a finish here. Sam Alvey, I mean, he didn't get finished by Ryan Spann. He didn't get finished let's see if I can find a Ramazan Amif, Tyler Lates, any of those guys. So I do not think Wellington Turman is going to get the finish right here. I think the fight goes all the way. Wellington Turman out-wrestling and out-grappling Sam Alvey for 3 straight rounds, winning the fight by a unanimous decision right there. Again, Sam Alvey can definitely land the shot and get the knockout. Wellington Turman's chin is not very good, but I am going to go Wellington Turman by a decision. A really good fight in the middleweight division right there. Dustin Jacoby and Darren Stewart in the light heavyweight division. Dustin Jacoby needs this fight to stay at range. He's 33 years old, 3-inch height advantage, and an incredible 4-inch reach advantage right there. 14 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. His last loss was John Salter way back in his Bellator days. Since then, joined the UFC, got an amazing leg kick knockout win on Justin Ledet, a really close fight with Maxine Grisham, and then a draw with Ian Cutelaba. But to win this fight with a guy like Darren Stewart, he needs to defend the takedowns, keep the fight at range, 1-2, 1-2, stay on the outside, attack that lead leg, as he always does, as we saw against Justin Ledet. I mean, those leg kicks are vicious, and just attack the lead leg, body kick, high kick, and 1-2, just stay on the outside. That's the main way I see Dustin Jacoby winning the fight right here. And I do believe Dustin Jacoby has the volume advantage as well. Let's see if I can find it. So right now, 4 strikes compared to 3 strikes from Darren Stewart. Darren Stewart has some pretty good striking of his own, but his defense is not really good. 49% isn't the best defense in my opinion. And I do think Dustin Jacoby is going to be able to just attack that lead leg of Darren Stewart, and just stay on the outside, pick him apart with the jab of 1-2, with the reach advantage, with the height advantage, and with the leg kicks, the body kicks, all that type of stuff. He's just going to pick Darren Stewart apart from the outside. And yeah, I mean, Dustin Jacoby's 61% takedown defense. Darren Stewart, I expect him to go for maybe 2, maybe 3 takedowns in the fight. Maybe he'll get 1 or 2. I mean, it's definitely possible. He gets a couple of takedowns every single fight. I don't see him controlling Dustin Jacoby for very long on the ground. I see this fight mainly being like a kickboxing, boxing type of fight with Darren, just trying to close that distance, land his combinations, and trying to wrestle a little bit, but I don't think the wrestling and grappling is going to work too well in the fight. I see the fight staying at range, and in my opinion, Dustin Jacoby is just going to jab, 1-2, leg kick, body kick, and just pick Darren Stewart out. I don't know what I'm saying right now. He's going to pick Dustin Stewart apart from the outside. Sorry about that. But my prediction right here is definitely going to be Dustin Jacoby. I don't think he should be that big of a favorite. I mean, 87% to 13% is quite a lot. But I definitely think he's going to pick Darren Stewart apart from the outside and win the fight by a decision. I'll go 30-27. I can see maybe Darren Stewart getting a takedown here and there and maybe winning around that way, but overall, I do think 30-27 is the most logical outcome. So right here in the light heavyweight division, my prediction is going to be Dustin Jacoby by a unanimous decision right there. Really good fight in the light heavyweight division. Pat Sabatini and Jamal Emmers in the featherweight division. Now, I have no idea what is wrong with these people, but 70% of the Tapology predictions have Sabatini mainly winning by decision, and then a lot of them have him winning by submission right there. No idea why. I really have no idea why. I mean, he's going to have a way better striking than Pat Sabatini. I mean, if you look right here, at just the height and the reach, he's going to have a 2-inch height advantage. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage. And if you look at his fight with Giga Chikadze, who is fighting on the main event of this fight card, Jamal Emmers looked absolutely amazing in that 3rd round. And he outstruck Giga Chikadze in the fight, 54-38. The first round was very even. The second round, Jamal Emmers outstruck Giga. In the 3rd round, he had triple the amount of strikes as Giga Chikadze. I mean, he went out there, 1-2, stay on the outside, 1-2, stayed on the outside, attacked that lead leg of Giga, and he looked really good in the striking game. The same thing is going to happen in this fight on the feet with a guy like Pat Sabatini. Again, I have no idea what is wrong with these people. How does so many people have Sabatini winning? If you look, just everyone in the comment section, everyone watching this video, look up Jamal Emmers versus Giga Chikadze and look at the third round. The striking of Jamal Emmers is way far superior than Pat Sabatini. Plus that height and that reach advantage. There's no way. No chance Pat Sabatini is going to win the fight on the feet. He's got one knockout win right there, and then if we look down, that was his only knockout win. I mean, his striking is nowhere near the striking as Jamal Emmers. Now, the grappling and wrestling, a lot of people are saying Pat Sabatini has the better wrestling and grappling. I don't think so. Maybe he has the better wrestling grappling offense, but the grappling and wrestling defense, Jamal Emmers has a 100% takedown defense. I don't see Pat Sabatini getting a takedown on Jamal Emmers. I see this fight staying on the feet. I have no idea how he is that big of a favorite. I would assume these should be flipped, to be honest, because Jamal Emmers is a much better striker, amazing 100% takedown defense. And if you look at the betting odds, I mean, they were 50-50 a couple of days ago. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, now they're like minus 130. That makes a lot more sense. But earlier on this week, they were at minus 110, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. But man, I mean, they're right where they should be now. I have no idea how Sabatini is that big of a favorite. Jamal Emmers is going to pick him apart on the feet. He has the height, he has the reach, he has the speed, he has the 1-2, the outside leg kick, the body kicks. He's going to destroy him on the feet. So this is the easiest prediction on the fight card, in my opinion. Jamal Emmers is going to win the fight. Again, no idea why the tabloid predictions are like that. But, yeah, Jamal Emmers is, in my opinion, going to win the fight by a decision. A really good fight in the featherweight division right there. Andre Petrosky and Michael Gilmore in the middleweight division. Oh, guys. All right. Why? They're feeding Michael Gilmore to Andre, man. Michael Gilmore with 6 wins, 3 losses. If you look at those wins, 1-2, 2-3-1, 2-4, 3-3. All right, not bad there. 0-2 and 0-1. He's fighting the lowest of the low in level of competition. Yeah, Andre Petrosky is not fighting the best competition either. 7-12, 1-2, 2-3, 1-3-1. Yeah, both fighters aren't really fighting the best competition, but Michael Gilmore's grappling and wrestling, oh no, it's absolute garbage, man. I mean, he's been submitted every single time he's lost. Second round submission loss, first round standing guillotine, and a first round triangle choke submission loss. No, come on. Andre Petrosky is going to absolutely destroy this man. Second round, a ground up on TKO. Second round, a ground up on TKO. First round, Kimura. First round, submission. And first round, ground up on TKO. Yeah, I mean, this is not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Michael Gilmore, it's a fun story. He came in there on short notice on The Ultimate Fighter. Now he's going to fight inside the UFC. That's pretty cool. But he's going to get finished. He's either going to get ground upon TKO'd by Andre, or he's going to get submitted in the very first round. One of those two things is going to happen. I mean, Andre is taller, he's lengthier, he's younger in the prime of his career, he's stronger, better wrestling, better grappling. I just see no way of Michael Gilmore winning unless he just lands some big shot on the feet. But with how easily he was taken down by Gilbert Urbina on The Ultimate Fighter, yeah, Andre Petrosky's by domination right there. I don't know why they made the fight, but it's going to be a very, very easy win for Andre right there. So, yeah, my prediction is definitely going to be Andre Petrosky going out there and just submitting him or ground upon TKOing him in the very first round. I don't think it's going to go to the second round. I do not think it's going to go to the third. First round, a finish by Andre Petrosky right there. Really good fight in the middleweight division. Ricky Tercios and Brady Heistand in the bantamweight division for the Ultimate Fighter finale in the bantamweight division. I mean, these two guys are absolute killers. Ricky Tercios has so much heart and so much cardio, man. He keeps on going. He puts on amazing fights every single time he goes out there, and he just keeps on moving forward. I mean, the last fight with Ludovic, I'm forgetting the last name, but with Ludovic, I mean, that fight was an absolute war. He was on the front foot, jabbing 1-2 and leg kicking, body kicking. I mean, his high kick was pretty close to landing every now and then as well. But at range against a guy like Brady Heistand, he's going to have the height, he's going to have the reach, he's going to have the speed, he's going to have the power. Ricky's just going to have all the advantages in the striking game over Brady Heistand, and that is understandable. I mean, Brady Heistand is a grappler, he is a wrestler type of guy. Out of his 5 wins, 1 loss, rear naked on a 1-13 guy, a knockout win on a 0-7 guy, another knockout win on a 0, oh god dang it, 0-5, 0-1, and 0-3. Yeah, that's not, no. Okay, well, Brady Heistand has not beaten anyone really noteworthy. And then we got, alright, yeah. I don't know. I didn't even look at those losses right there. I was kind of just looking at the loss right here with Chad Engler, and then I was looking at his Ultimate Fighter fights. But to win against these guys that are just, they're absolute garbage. They're tomato cans on the regional scene. So yeah, that's a little interesting. But Brady Heisen does have really good grappling, really good wrestling. Trains with guys like Michael Chiesa over there at Sick Jitsu, so he's got really good wrestling, grappling. But Ricky Tercios is really good at scrambling right back up on the feet. Yeah, his takedown defense, he gets taken down every now and then, but on the ground, he's constantly looking for submissions, looking for the guillotine, looking for the triangle, and just looking to get right back up on the feet. So his scramblings and his ability to get right back up is amazing so far from the film that I've seen of him. He has a second round armbar from the bottom right there. A lot of knockout wins on his career as well. 3 knockouts, 1 submission, and 6 decisions. And the volume and the pressure is what I really want to look at, because Brady Heisen, he's gonna be going out there trying to wrestle and grapple, but Ricky Tercios with the height, with the reach, is gonna stay on the outside and just throw volume and just throw pressure, and it's gonna be a domination on the feet. I don't know about the ground game, because I know Brady Heisen will have the advantage, but that's the thing. Will Brady get the fight to the ground? I don't know. It's very tough, because Ricky, yeah, you might be able to get Ricky to the ground. A lot of people are able to get the takedown, but are they able to keep him there for multiple minutes, maybe even a full round? I really don't think that's going to happen. Ricky is just such a good scrambler. I think he's going to be able to keep the fight on the feet, and he's a lot faster. He's a lot more powerful, throws a buttload of a lot more volume and pressure. So I think the fight does stay on the feet. Ricky's going to be on that front foot, jabbing a 1-2, attacking that lead leg, body kicking, front kicking to the body as well. And just once he gets once he gets Brady to the back of the cage, that's when he really unleashes his combinations. Left hook, right hook, left hook, uppercut. I mean, he just goes off in that clinch situation. So I think Ricky Tercios is going to destroy him on the feet, to be quite honest. Even in the clinch as well. Good knees in the clinch, good uppercuts, the hooks in the clinch. At range, he's just much better. So I love both fighters. I really want to see what Brady Heisen could do in the UFC. I really want to see what Ricky Tercios can do in the UFC as well. They're both really good prospects in the bantamweight division, but Ricky Tercios with a takedown defense, with his scrambling abilities, and just with the outright, just way better striking, I think he's going to win the fight by a 30-27 decision. I'm sorry, Brady. You got really good grappling, but I don't think you're going to be able to control Ricky Tercios on the ground. So my prediction right there for the tournament championship is going to be Ricky Tercios winning the fight by a 30-27 unanimous decision. I cannot wait to see what he's going to do in his future, but yeah, I got Ricky Tercios right there. Really good fight in the bantamweight division. Kevin Lee and Daniel Rodriguez in the welterweight division. I'm going to say 50-50 fight. I mean, it's a very even fight. D-Rod throws a a buttload of volume, man. I mean, 8 strikes every single minute. I mean, that is absolutely insane. 8 strikes to 4 strikes, man, and 48% striking accuracy is better than Kevin Lee, and the 56% striking defense is also better than Kevin Lee, but he's also absorbing quite a lot of strikes as well. So we'll see what happens in the striking game. But D-Rod, the volume, the pressure, and this cardio seems to hold up very well in his fights. But I think this fight is definitely going to be a striking fight for maybe half of it. I think we're going to see a lot of clinching, a lot of wrestling, grappling from Kevin Lee, but there is also going to be a lot of striking as well. On the feet, I do think D-Rod is going to have a slight advantage. He's going to be putting on that pressure, putting on that volume. Kevin Lee is going to be trying to keep the fight at range, land the body kick, land that devastating high kick that he landed on Gregor Gillespie, and use that 3-inch reach advantage, kind of jab 1-2, stay on the outside, and just keep on kicking until eventually he's going to try to close that distance, land the double leg, clinch up, maybe get the body lock, pick up, slam takedown. That's the main way I see him getting the takedown, would be clinching up and getting the body lock, pick up, slam takedown. But it's a very even fight, because D-Rod also has really good takedown defense of 83%, so it's a close one, man. It's a very close one. But I give a humongous advantage in the grappling and wrestling to Kevin Lee. D-Rod has a pretty decent guillotine, but I think Kevin Lee's smart enough to just get out of that guillotine and not get submitted. I mean, he just lost a fight by guillotine to Charles Oliveira, but Oliveira, D-Rod, much different fighters right there. So for this fight, I think Kevin Lee will keep it relatively even on the feet. I mean, of course, he's going to have that disadvantage with the volume, with the pressure, with the boxing, but keep the fight at range, kick at range, 1-2, stay on the outside, and then eventually go for the takedown, go for the double leg takedown, go for the clinch, and just try to get that body lock and pick him up and slam him. I do think we're going to see a lot of wrestling, a lot of clinching, a lot of grappling from Kevin Lee, and I do think that it is what is going to get him the win. I think we're going to see 3 takedowns from Kevin Lee in the fight, 1 every single round. I think D-Rod is going to do very good on the feet, but it's not going to be too much of a big margin in the striking where Kevin Lee's not going to be able to do enough in the grappling to make up for the deficit in the striking. So I think the striking is going to be pretty even. I'll give the edge to D-Rod, but I think Kevin Lee will make it up with the takedowns, with the wrestling, with the grappling. Maybe he gets a submission. I think it is a possibility, but D-Rod has never been finished, never been submitted, never been TKO, never been knockout. So I do think Kevin Lee is going to go out there and win the fight by a 29-28 decision. I think one of the rounds, D-Rod is going to outscore him on the feet and maybe defend a couple takedowns and win one round. But the other 2 rounds, Kevin Lee will use the wrestling, use the grappling, and use the kicks at range to win the fight by a decision. But it's a very close one. It can definitely go either way. I really want D-Rod to win. I really want him to win because I want to see him in the top 15 of that welterweight division. But Kevin Lee is just a much better wrestler, much better grappler. I think he's going to win the fight by a 29-28 decision. But yeah, put your predictions in the comment section below. My prediction, Kevin Lee right there. Really a fight in the welterweight division. Gerald Meerschaert and Makhmud Muradov in the middleweight division. Gerald Meerschaert's 32 wins and then 14 losses. I believe 1 draw as well. If you look at his wins, yeah, 24 submission wins and 6 knockout wins, mainly by a ground upon TKO, and only 2 fights going all the way. Out of his losses, though, 8 submission losses and 3 knockout losses right there. Recently in the UFC, got a guillotine on Bartosz Babinski, but before that, got knocked out twice by Ian Heinisch and Khamzat Chimaev. That's interesting because I do think Makhmud Muradov has a little bit more power than Ian Heinisch. Maybe the power of Khamzat and Makhmud is pretty similar. I probably would give a slight edge to Makhmud Muradov in the power department than Khamzat. So, yeah, the chin of Gerald Meerschaert does worry me coming off of 2 knockout losses to Khamzat and Ian Heinisch, where Makhmud Muradov is known for his really, really powerful hands with 70 knockout wins, 3 submissions, and 5 decisions, coming off a devastating flying knee on Andrew Sanchez, an overhand right on Trevor Smith, second knockout, first knockout. I can go on and on down the list, but you know what I'm saying. He's got a lot of power in his hands. He's gonna have a little bit of a height advantage, but not the reach advantage. But gonna be a little bit younger, pretty similar experience to be quite honest. But yeah, Gerald needs a takedown, needs to wrestle, needs to grapple. He needs to fight to hit the ground. But Makhmud Muradov has amazing takedown defense. It's very surprising, but his takedown defense is 43% so far in the no, that's the wrong one. 100% so far in the UFC right there. That's all I need to hear. Makhmud Muradov with 100% takedown defense. Yeah, Gerald Meerschaert has good wrestling and good grappling of his own, but I don't think he's going to be able to take down Makhmud. Makhmud is a very strong striker, and if you go for the takedown, he's going to go for one of those knees, as we saw in the last fight with Andrew Sanchez, or maybe a right uppercut right down the middle. But in this fight, he's going to be coming forward with a left hook and that overhand right. That overhand right is what I think is going to land in the fight. I think Gerald's going to be coming forward, and then Makhmud is going to go for the left hook, put his head down, and throw that big overhand right. And I do think Makhmud, just like the fight with Trevor Smith, is going to knock Gerald Meerschaert out cold. And I'll go the second round right there. But it's a really good fight. I can see Gerald Meerschaert maybe getting 1 takedown before eventually he does get knocked out. But yes, that's my prediction right there. I do think Makhmud is going to land a big shot and get the knockout in the second round. Really good fight in the middleweight division. Bryan Battle and Gilbert Urbina in the co-main event. In the middleweight division, the Ultimate Fighter finale. The winner gets the $100,000 contract, but the winner of this fight was not supposed to be Gilbert Urbina because Gilbert, as we know, got knocked out cold by Tresean Gore on the Ultimate Fighter right there. I mean, that was pretty bad. I mean, it was a left hook from it was like all the way down here, and oh my god, it was a nasty left hook knockout. But Gore had a knee injury, and up comes Gilbert Urbina on short notice to fight Bryan Battle. It's a really good co-main event, but Gilbert, I mean, his chin in the last fight, I know Tresean Gore has a really, really powerful left hand, a really good overhand, a very, very powerful jab as well. The body kicks are really good as well, so I know Tresean Gore is a very very powerful striker, naturally athletic, powerful striker, but his chin did not really look too good. I mean, he got wobbled from a jab in the last fight, which really, really worries me for this fight with Bryan Battle. Now, Bryan Battle doesn't necessarily have the power where you're going to be like, Bryan Battle, he's going to go out there looking for the knockout. He's not really going to be looking for the knockout. He's looking for more of I mean, most of his wins are submissions, only one win by knockout. So, even though Gilbert Urbina's chin, as we saw in the last fight, wasn't too good, I don't see Bryan Battle getting a finish here. I see Gilbert Urbina probably winning this fight to hit the ground because Bryan, in my opinion, throws more volume. He has better pressure, has better striking defense. Gilbert Urbina's hands were like right here, and when they were up, they're right here, right for the jab to get right in. So I think Bryan Battle is going to just keep on popping out that jab. When Gilbert is coming in, he's going to be landing that right straight. Bryan Battle has very solid takedown defense as well, and even if he does get taken down, has very good scrambles and getting right back up on the feet. So even if Gilbert goes out there with a wrestling and grappling game plan, I don't think he'll be able to control Bryan Battle on the ground. Therefore, it would be a striking fight where Bryan Battle, in my opinion, has the volume, maybe a slight power advantage, has the chin advantage as well, and I do think he's going to land that jab a lot, move on the outside, straight rights, really good leg kicks, really good body kicks as well. So I think this fight is going to be a striking fight, and the better striker, in my opinion, is going to be Bryan Battle, but we shall see. It's going to be a good one, and it is a short notice, so I don't know how much Gilbert Urbina has been training in the last couple of weeks for the short notice opportunity against Bryan Battle. I'm just not too sure about that, but also coming off a knockout loss on Tresean Gore is not that good. So my prediction right here is going to be Bryan Battle. I think he goes out there, plays a very technical, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of volume as well, but a more technical striking game, staying on the outside, popping in the jab, 1-2, leg kicks, body kicks. My prediction right here is going to be Bryan Battle winning the fight by a decision. If Tresean Gore was in this main event, the tournament championship, I would probably go Tresean Gore. He's a freak of nature in my opinion, has so much power, but now that he's fighting Gilbert Urbina, who doesn't have the best chin, not the best striking defense, I think Bryan Battle will outstrike him on the feet. He's much more technical, he's faster, he's more powerful, so my prediction right there in the middleweight division is going to be Bryan Battle winning the fight by a 30-27 unanimous decision. Really good fight in the middleweight division right there. Edson Barboza and Giga Chikadze in the main event. Banger, banger, banger is all I really have to say. I mean, Edson Barboza, Giga Chikadze. I mean, man, this is going to be a war. I mean, Giga is an amazing kickboxer, really good karate type of fighter as well. Coming off a first round of body kick knockout on Cub Swanson, a first round head kick knockout win on Jamie Simmons, and then a couple of decision wins as well. In his career, he has 8 knockout wins, 4 decision wins, and 1 submission win. If we look at Edson, I mean, the man has fought everyone in the lightweight and featherweight division. Shane Burgos, Makwan Amirkhani, Dan Ige, Paul Felder, Gaethje, Hooker, Lee, Khabib, Beneil, Anthony Pettis, Ferguson, Paul Felder again. I mean, we can go down the list, but the man is a veteran of the game, and he's pretty much the same. And he's a little bit older than Giga, but he's still pretty young for having faced all of these guys. And compared to Giga, Giga's also a little bit older in his career, but he's had a lot of other experience. He's been fighting karate and training, not necessarily MMA, but training martial arts since he was 5 years old, which is absolutely insane. But this fight is going to be amazing. The height and the reach is very, very even. 5'11", 6 foot, 74-inch reach, and a 75-inch reach. So I really doubt that is going to play the biggest factor. The biggest factor is going to be Edson Barboza's inside leg kicks and outside leg kicks, and it's going to be Giga's body kicks and head kicks. So the kicking game is very even. Edson has the leg kicking advantage. Giga has the body kicking and head kicking advantage. Edson has the spinning kicking advantage. I mean, oh my god, we have a banger of a fight on our hands, but the kicking is just so absolutely amazing. Like, how do you know who's going to have the advantages where? But Giga, I think, is going to have the body and head kicking, and Edson's going to have the leg kicking and spinning kicking advantage. It's just crazy. I mean, to have 2 amazing kicking type of fighters, and Edson and Giga, I mean, I give all the props to the UFC. This is going to be an absolute banger. But Giga Chikadze and Edson Barboza, the one thing Edson Barboza does not do too good against is pressure. Edson Barboza does not do good against pressure because he likes to fight to stay at range and kind of pick his opponents apart from the outside, maybe counter them a little bit, attack that lead leg, and win. You got a guy like Giga who's most likely going to go out there knowing that Edson has the weakness in the pressure department. He's going to go out there with a lot of pressure, not let Edson have that range, and as Edson is moving on the outside, he's going to attack with the body kicks, attack with the head kicks, and just put on that pressure, put on that volume. So it's going to be a close one. I think Giga is going to have a really good head movement. I mean, Edson Edson is known for kind of just popping out that jab. He has a really good jab, but Giga has really good slips. I mean, he's gonna slip that jab from Edson, and he's probably gonna go an overhand right or maybe an uppercut, depending on where Edson Barboza's head is at the moment. But I think Giga, with the jabs of Edson, is gonna kind of just slip them and throw the overhand. And with the kicking game, I think Giga's just gonna be coming forward, not really allowing Edson to land too much to that lead leg of Giga Chikadze with the leg kicks. And Giga is just gonna be pressuring, and as Edson's moving on to the outside, left body kick, left high kick over and over and over again. So I think Giga, with the pressure, with the volume, backing him up, landing that body kick, landing that high kick, with all of that pressure, dodging those jabs from Edson Barboza, slipping them and throwing that overhand right. There's so many factors going in the fight. It is definitely a 50-50 one. I mean, the Tapology predictions having 64% going Barboza, 36% going Chikadze, with the betting odds being neck and neck at -110, -110. Very close to them, but my prediction is going to be Giga Chikadze. I think he slips the jab of Barboza, lands a lot of overhands, pressure. I cannot say it enough. Pressure. That's all I gotta say for Chikadze. Put on the pressure, land that body kick, land that high kick, land that overhand, and just pressure. I mean, that's really all I gotta say. But it's gonna be an absolute banger. Main event for Giga Chikadze and Edson Barboza. But put your predictions in the comment section below. It is gonna be an absolute 5-round banger. But my prediction is gonna be Giga Chikadze winning the fight. I'll go 49-46 decision. I think it's going to be a close one. Every round is going to be decided by a couple of strikes here and there, but I think Giga is going to outvolley him, out-pressure him as well. It's going to be a banger, but my prediction, Giga Chikadze by a 49-46 unanimous decision. Amazing fight in the featherweight division. But yeah, guys, that is my full card prediction for Barboza versus Chikadze. I got Giga Chikadze winning his fight, Brian Battle winning his fight, Mahmoud Muradov winning his fight, Kevin Lee winning his fight, although it is a very 50-50 one. Ricky Tercios winning his fight, Andre Prochazky dominating his fight, Jamal Emmers winning his fight, Dustin Jacoby winning his fight, Wellington Turman winning his fight, Mana Martinez winning his fight, and Abdul Razak Al Hassan winning his fight right there. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like the video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you guys get notified for when I post a new video. That would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.